You know, it's weird because I've always loved football, but I've loved football more now than I've ever loved it before. And I don't know what it is, whether it's because I'm a parent now and I need football more in my life. I don't know, maybe it is that.
This week, William opens up about his favourite pastime. The Queen rides again, and the Cambridges drop in for a game of bingo.
How did we do a bingo? Was it okay?
Yeah, very good. It wasn't as good as it should have been.
Welcome to the Royal Reports, everyone. I'm your host, Sharon Carpenter. Now, we were off last Wednesday, which means we've got 2 weeks of news to catch up on. So let's get right to it. On May 20th, Prince William spoke with leaders from the Scotland-based Peak Project about the organisation's efforts to provide healthy meals to families during the COVID-19 crisis. During a portion of the video call shared on social media, the Duke revealed to Chef Charlie Farrelly that meal times are not always a hit at Amner Hall.
You'll know yourself, the hardest time is dinner time.
Depends what's on the table though, Charlie. If parents put something on that the children love, dinner time goes very well, but if you put something on the table they don't want to do, that's another ballgame.
I'm sure a lot of us at home can relate to that. That same day, William and Kate made a surprise appearance via video chat to call a bingo game for the residents of the Shire Hall Care Home in Wales. Afterwards, the Duke and Duchess spoke with the game's winner, Joan Drew Smith, who turned out to be a tough critic.
Hi, Joe.
Hello, Joe.
Hello, how are you?
We're very well, thanks. How did we do a bingo? Was it okay?
Yeah, very good. It wasn't as good as it should have been.
On Friday, May 22nd, we learned exclusive details about Harry and Meghan's fondness for going the extra mile when it comes to gift giving. A People Royal source revealed that for Harry's latest birthday last September, Meghan recreated the couple's Botswana camping adventures in their backyard. The insider stated it's a place that means so much to them and to Harry in particular, so Meghan wanted to bring that happy place to him on his day. So she set up a tent, got sleeping bags, cooked dinner, and recreated Botswana, where they fell in love. Such a thoughtful gift. On Wednesday, Kensington Palace issued a rare statement in response to the British publication Tatler's new cover story about Kate. According to a palace spokesperson, quote, "This story contains a swath of inaccuracies and false misrepresentations which were not put to Kensington Palace prior to publication." While the palace did not specify which parts of the article were inaccurate or false, a People Royal source said there's no truth to the claim that Kate feels overwhelmed by the heavier workload after the Sussexes stepped down from royal life. Meanwhile, the magazine defended the article, stating Tatler's editor-in-chief Richard Dennon stands behind the reporting. On Thursday, the BBC aired an hour-long documentary titled Football, Prince William and Our Mental Health that focused on the Duke's efforts to confront the stigma associated with men's emotional well-being. In a clip from the film shared on social media, William opened up to former soccer player Marvin Sordell about the difficulties of being a new parent.
Having children is, the biggest life-changing moment. It really is. And I agree with you. I think when you've been through something traumatic in life, and that is, like you say, your dad not being around, my mother dying when I was younger, your emotions come back in leaps and bounds because it's a very different phase of life, and there's no one there to kind of help you. And I've definitely found it very, at times overwhelming.
Wow, so powerful to see the prince open up like that. On Sunday, we got a rare opportunity to see the Queen enjoying a horseback ride on the grounds of Windsor Castle. The monarch, who has been isolating at the royal estate with Prince Philip since March, was spotted riding her 14-year-old horse named Fern. Great to see Her Majesty staying active. All right, joining us now is People Senior Style Editor Brittany Talarico. Brittany, so good to see you. It's been way too long. How are you doing?
Hi, Sharon. It's so great to be back. I'm doing well. Excited to talk about royal style.
We're so happy you're here. This, of course, is our first style report since we've been in quarantine. And as I'm sure you'll agree, one of the many frustrating aspects of this new normal is that we haven't been able to see Kate and Meghan step out with their usual show-stopping style and glamour. But thankfully, social distancing has not completely deprived us of royal style moments, as we're about to discuss. So here goes, the Style Report Royal Quarantine Edition. On March 20th, Kate made her last in-person appearance visiting an NHS call centre in London. She sported a chic rose-coloured pantsuit from brand Marks and Spencer that retails for $280. On April 8th, we saw Kate alongside William speaking virtually with the staff and children at a primary school ahead of Easter. She shined in a $37 gold puff sleeve sweater from Zara. That was a bargain. The Duchess stepped out on April 23rd with the rest of the Cambridge clan to clap for our carers on the BBC's The Big Night In fundraising telethon. The entire family colour coordinated in blue, one of the official colours of the NHS. Kate stunned in a shirt dress featuring red and pink flowers from British brand Ghost. That was on sale for just $115 when she wore it. On April 29th, Meghan made a virtual call to a SmartWorks client ahead of a job interview. She wore a $287 burgundy sweater from brand Joseph. More on this look later. On May 2nd, Kate was again in front of the camera, this time to speak with new parents and health experts ahead of the UK's Maternal Mental Health Awareness Week. We saw her in two looks, a blue and white chevron printed sweater from Tabloids that costs about $340, and this dress from Boden featuring white flowers. She's loving the colour blue these days. 5 days later, on May 7th, Kate appeared in a virtual interview on ITV's This Morning to promote her hold still photography project. She stunned in this yellow silk dress featuring a light green and pink tree print from brand Ray, which sells for $540. The following day, she joined William for a virtual call with veterans in honour of the 75th anniversary of BE Day. The Duchess dazzled in a red dress from LK Bennett, one of her longtime favourite brands. On May 12th, Kate joined members of the royal family to chat with nurses ahead of International Nurses Day. She wore a sky blue dress from Altazura featuring white and black polka dots. And finally, on May 20th, Kate and William checked in with residents at a Wales nursing home and helped call their bingo game. The Duchess stunned in a pink silk chiffon midi dress featuring loose flowing sleeves. Another look from LK Bennett. All right, Brittany, so many great looks. Which was your favorite?
So many great looks, especially great Kate looks. And I have to say it's the red LK Bennett dress. It's a stunner. I love the color. Kate's wearing so much color, which is really nice to see. You know, color can boost your mood. Experts say wearing color just can boost productivity, it can boost your mood. I think it's nice seeing her so cheery right now, or projecting that to try to help other people feel comfortable too. It's like an instant mood lifter. I'm trying to wear color today. You're wearing color, wearing blue. I think
for the same reasons.
Yeah, it really, what you wear could really help, you know, how you feel. And we're seeing Kate do that. Also, she was speaking to veterans, and red is the color of the poppy. I feel like she puts so much thought into what she wears, and that's not stopping for these Zoom calls. She's just so relatable.
Now, I understand this was something she's worn before, right?
Yep, it's another royal rewear. We love a Kate rewear. She first wore this dress to Wimbledon in 2015. So it's an older dress, and she's, you know, she loves the brand. It's a British label, and it's really refreshing to see her going into her closet for their looks like most of us are doing. You know, she's not shopping. She's, you know, spending, you know, a lot of time with her family, but she's still presenting herself in this beautiful way for all of us to see.
Now, as you mentioned, she's been wearing a ton of color lately. Brittany, take a look at this post from eagle-eyed royal fan account Cambridge Mums that shows a collage of Kate's quarantine wardrobe. I love this. It sure seems like she's intentionally wearing the colors of the rainbow, which is significant because in the UK, the rainbow has become a symbol of support for the NHS workers fighting the pandemic. Brittany, Kate definitely loves to send a message through her clothing, doesn't she?
Kate really is always thinking about everything she wears. She loves to send a message through her wardrobe, and it's really inspiring to see. I loved the rainbow looks that she's worn recently, like seeing them all put together like that was really inspiring. Right now, we're all stuck at home. She's pulling pieces from her wardrobe like most of us, but she's still thinking about how to honor her country and the people, and it's really just a great message. And she always is kind of talking, communicating through her clothes. We see this even when she's traveling with William and they're on their royal tours. When she was just in Pakistan recently, she stepped off the plane in the beautiful shalwar kameez, honoring what the women wear in that country. When she goes to Ireland, she's wearing beautiful shades of green, you know, paying tribute to the countries that she's in, dressing to match the flags. She really puts a lot of thought and effort, and I think it's very inspiring for many of us to see. It makes me want to wear color and dress up more. She's inspiring me for sure.
All right, let's chat about Meghan's look during her Smart Works call. She did so many things right here, don't you think?
So many. Yeah, I love that the sweater was also a rewear. It's a burgundy Joseph sweater. It's $280, very minimal makeup, and her hair was half tied back.
I love the hair.
I loved the hair. I thought it looked really pretty. A very relatable look that I feel like we all, when she first wore it in October of 2019, she paired it with the matching burgundy leather skirt. So like it was definitely a more elevated look because she was out at an event. And to see her like recycle it and bring it back to her home, it was great.
And it shows how versatile some of these pieces are as well.
Yeah, you cannot go wrong with like a solid, beautiful burgundy sweater. You can wear it all year round if it's a little bit chillier out, even in the spring and summer. So she looked great.
Brittany, thank you so much for being here. Always so great to talk fashion with you. Can't wait to do it again soon.
Thanks so much, Sharon. I hope to see you really soon.
The Royal Report will be right back. Welcome back to the show, everyone. Joining me now is Julie Montagu. She's a frequent Royals commentator, former Bravo reality star from Ladies of London, and current member of the British aristocracy, as she's known in more formal circles as Viscountess Hinchingbrook. Julie, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome to have you. Now, Julie, you're back on TV as the host of an American Aristocrat's Guide to Great Estates, which premiered May 17th on the Smithsonian Channel. The first episode was fantastic. What can you tell us about the show, and what can viewers expect from the rest of the season?
Oh, thank you so much. No, we really wanted to sort of start the show with a bang. So, the episode that premiered had blood, it had ghosts, it had Highland games, kilts, bagpipes, of course, all in Scotland. And so we really just continue on with the fun and showing, the audience this journey that I take them on, where they're able to get a real inside peek into how these historic homes across the country really make themselves commercially viable. It's not just about opening up your house to the public. It's about having these, fun events. So I play cricket completely the wrong way. So, I hit it like baseball. I drop the bat with a really prestigious cricket club. And then, the next thing I'm beekeeping in my whole bee suit. I wear lots of outfits for some reason throughout the entire thing. And these homes are these are their businesses. We live in our business, if you like. And so this is a real opportunity for Americans to visit these homes virtually, especially now, because we don't know when we're going to open back up again.
And Julie, you come to the show with some pretty hands-on experience in this area, right? It seems like the homeowners really trust you here.
Yeah, they do. And I think that was the appeal for the homeowners in the fact that I wasn't just your typical sort of presenter host. I've married into an aristocratic family. I know what it's like and what hard work it is and how difficult it is to run historic houses. So the house that I'm in right now is, our family home. And it's
beautiful, by the way.
Yeah, that's
the background that I'm seeing. I can only imagine what the rest looks like.
Exactly. That is actually the founding father of the Montagu family. So that date, this is Lord Montagu of Boughton, and that dates back to about the 1500s. So he's sort of the big ancestor of them all.
So cool.
But it's, this is right here. This is a 500-year-old home. And just like all of the other homes on the series, they're hundreds of years old, and they really require so much work, maintenance, repairs, and love, really. So I hope it gives the viewer an inside peek into how these homes are really lovingly run by their homeowners, but also its history that the homeowners are trying to keep alive.
Now, the homes you go into are full of so much history. I'm sure our viewers would be curious. Do any of them have a royal connection?
Oh, I mean, literally, like almost every single one of the homes that I go into has a royal connection. And royal connection as in of course, dating back to, different kings and queens of the era. So if I look at Holmby House, King Charles I lived there for 5 months. He was imprisoned there. But more recent, you'll see at Eastern Castle, I stayed in the room that Queen Mary stayed in. Then I also stayed in a room at Newby Hall that was dedicated for the Queen Mother, so Queen Elizabeth's mother. During the Second World War, Newby Hall was actually the house that they were going to, if they needed to, sort of escape and hide out to. Nobody knew that, of course, but the British government. But this was the house that they were planning on, if they had to go into hiding, that was the house that they were going to go into hiding. So really fascinating royal connections in most of these homes.
Absolutely incredible. Well, what I've seen so far looks amazing. I know royal fans are going to love it.
Thank you. I'm very, very excited.
I also wanted to ask you about Harry and Meghan's move to Los Angeles. Now, you're originally from Illinois, and of course, you now live in the UK. What kind of advice would you give Harry? He's essentially doing the reverse, the opposite here, right? Growing up in the UK, moving to the US.
Well, I think it's just it's completely different. I think with Meghan coming over originally to the UK, she had to embrace so much tradition and formality. And we saw her wearing hats and dressed up and having to look the part all of the time. Harry, in one sense, it's much easier, in my view, to adapt to the LA, California lifestyle. He can let go of the formality, let go of the traditions, and really just have a very relaxed and laid back life. So I think he's going to find it quite refreshing and easygoing.
Harry and Meghan also announced last month that they're cutting off all dealings with 4 British tabloids, the Daily Mail, the Sun, the Mirror, and the Express, all papers I grew up with, not that I ever read any of them. Can you give us some insight into the British tabloid press and how it differs from the American press?
They've cut ties with those 4 particular British tabloid press that you've mentioned, because, there is kind of a difference between the British press and the British tabloid press. And the British tabloid press, and I've been living here while Meghan obviously was living here for a few years or a couple of years. They were just relentless. They just never let up. It was like she literally couldn't put a right foot forward. And if you think about it, she hardly came out in public and spoke, apart from things that she was quite passionate about, but yet they kept on, attacking her.
Yeah, can you give us an idea of what sort of things the tabloids have been writing about the Sussexes?
Well, I think, somebody did an amazing comparison of articles that were written about Kate, the Duchess of Cambridge, and articles that were written about Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, and even things like an avocado, like, oh, isn't it sweet that William is buying Kate avocados because it helps with her morning sickness? Yet all of a sudden, Meghan's favorite food, the avocado, has been linked back to like child labor or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but and then it was Kate's getting married at Westminster Abbey, and she wanted to freshen up with fresh flowers. That was okay, but yet Meghan goes into St. George's Chapel and apparently says she wants to freshen it up with air fresheners, and the press went nuts on that. So she just, in my view, it was unfair. It was unfair the way that they were portraying her.
Okay, now before you go, I have to ask, I understand you had a royal run-in with one of our favorite duchesses and a certain heir to the throne as well.
It was last autumn. So in 2019, last autumn, and there's an amazing Italian deli next door to the yoga studio where I used to normally teach until obviously it's had to close. And so I would always go there afterwards because they have great Italian coffee. And I remember walking in there, talking to the Italian guys, and all of a sudden Kate walks in with George, and it was sort of around 11 o'clock. So she must have taken him for an appointment or something. And as she walks in, she went in front of me because I hadn't yet queued up yet for my coffee, and the whole sort of delicatessen went completely quiet. Like everybody just went still. And I was trying to think, I must remember what she's ordering. And I'm pretty sure she ordered a cappuccino. And then George was really sweet because she was like, do you want a croissant? Do you want a pain au chocolat? And he ended up picking, I remember, this pastry that has raisins in it. But it was just normal. There wasn't any security. I'm sure security was outside somewhere, but it was just a mom and a son coming in, getting their coffee and their croissant. Yeah, it was very sweet.
Nobody approached them?
No one approached. I was this close. No,
You thought about it?
I thought about it because they were standing. Yeah, exactly. I wanted to go like this in the line because they were standing right in front of me. But it was really sweet and just lovely, just normal.
Wow. Very normal. That's an awesome story. Thank you so much, Julie, for being here. Good luck with the show as well.
Thank you. Be sure to tune in, you guys. Sunday nights, Smithsonian Channel, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
The Royal Report will be right back. Welcome back. It's time now for our social media minutes with our social media correspondent, Jillian Fleischman. Jillian, how's it going?
Hi, Sharon. I'm doing great. Happy to be back.
So what do you have for us today?
I love the post this week. Last Tuesday, Prince Charles shared these videos to the Clarence House Instagram describing the piano concerto he had commissioned in memory of his grandmother, who we know as the Queen Mother. He noted he wanted the piece to reflect her character and sense of duty. The post also included a series of flashback images of her and Charles throughout her life. Such a touching tribute. Last Wednesday, the royal family's Instagram page marked what would have been the start of royal garden parties this year by posting the Buckingham Palace pastry chef's recipe for Victoria sponge cake. It's named after Queen Victoria because she regularly ate a slice of cake with her tea each afternoon. They urged their followers to share their own versions with the hashtag #RoyalBakes. I'm making this cake ASAP. Last Friday, we got a look at more of the photos submitted as part of Kate's Hold Still photography project on the Kensington Royal Instagram story. The campaign aims to reflect the resilience and bravery across the UK right now. 100 photos will be included in a digital exhibition in August, and there's still time for followers to take part. I love that Kate continues to share submissions each week. And finally, this past Sunday, the royal family's Instagram page posted these pictures of the Queen riding her horse in Windsor over the weekend. Queen Elizabeth has loved riding since childhood, and the post also included photos of her riding with her children when they were young. So great to see how the Queen is spending her quarantine. And that's your social media minute.
All right. Great stuff today, Jillian. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sharon.
The Royal Reports will be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Now, we're taping this on Tuesday, June 2nd, which is the 67th anniversary of the Queen's coronation, a day we're celebrating with this week's great moments in royal history.
No day has ever dawned that rivaled this. Into no other hours was ever crammed so much. Beauty, queenship, raiment superb, her life outsoars the noblest fiction.
On June 2nd, 1953, the coronation of Elizabeth II was held at Westminster Abbey, 1 year and 4 months after the death of her father, King George VI.
I here present unto you Queen Elizabeth, your undoubted queen. Wherefore all you who are come this day to do your homage and service, are you willing to do the same?
The historic event was broadcast live for the first time ever, and 27 million people watched in the UK alone, plus millions more from around the world.
With the scepter in her right hand and in her left hand the orb, Queen Elizabeth passes from the Abbey, consecrated and dedicated to her life work by the solemn and time-hallowed ritual of coronation.
After the ceremony, Queen Elizabeth returned to Buckingham Palace, where she greeted her loyal subjects as Great Britain's first female monarch in more than 300 years.
There's no holding back a Buckingham Palace crowd at moments such as this. They want to close up, and they're always rewarded.
All right, now before we go, let's check in with Max, shall we? Max, aka the Count of Cuteness. How you holding up? Great to hear it, Max. Now, earlier this morning, Max had a little celebration of his own that he wanted to share with everyone. Take a look.
No day has ever dawned that rivaled this.
Wherefore, all you who are come this day to do your homage and service, are you willing to do the same?
They want a close-up, and they're always rewarded.
Max, you just love your pomp and circumstance, don't you? All right, Royal Watchers, that's our show for today. Remember to follow People on Twitter to watch the latest episodes of The Royal Report, streaming every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm Sharon Carpenter, and Max, why don't you say goodbye for the both of us?